You know, I wish people knew what it was like to deliver for Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, all these companies. I just spent an hour driving around for $1.19 tip. I mean, would it hurt y'all to tip us, throw us $5? I got $1.19 tip and $2 from the app. What's that? That's not even enough to cover gas. How am I supposed to survive like that? Homeless. I'm there. This that I'm sitting in, it's gone. 4 months behind. There's no way I could pay for that. Everything fell apart on me. I haven't been able to sustain myself, provide for myself. And these are essential services. I just wish people knew what it was like. I wish they understood what it was like to drive for these services.
Man. Well, all I can say is this, man. It's hard out here, y'all. It's hard out here, and I'm not gonna bash or talk down on this brother too crazy, but I will say this: me being a former Uber Eats driver, they used to do Uber Eats, hours and hours out the day. Uh, Man, like it can be days where it can really be slow, like real deal slow days. And, it can also be days where people send small tips. Sometimes they may send none at all. So I understand where he's coming from, you know what I'm saying? Because $1.19 tip after driving for an hour, nah, man, that's unacceptable right there. That is unacceptable right there for you to be driving that long and you sit up here only get $1.19 tip. Nah. Nah. So I understand where he's coming from. But I will say this. I can't make excuses for this brother too, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of jobs out here hiring. Whether it's a warehouse, whether if it's a retail job. I'm talking about there are jobs out here that are hiring. You know what I'm saying? And that are looking for people to fill, these positions and everything. And I will say this too. I don't know his background. His criminal background may be, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, once again, there are feeling-friendly companies out there that are looking for people to work for their companies. So you have to ask yourself, you know what? This Uber Eats and this DoorDash, thing, is this what's going to get the bills paid? Is this, is this gonna make sure I keep my car note paid? Is this gonna cover all my other, living expenses as far as food in the refrigerator? So you got to make sure you have your, your health and your care products. Like you have to really sit down and tell yourself, like, is this really gonna cover all my living expenses and just everything, as far as making sure I take care of myself. Now, I will say this. There are a lot of Uber Eats drivers and DoorDashers and everything. There are a lot of them out there that's really making some big money. But I'm going to tell you what that requires. That shit requires a lot of wear and tear on your car. Believe me, I know. Because I used to drive down there 8 to 10 hours a day. Down there every day, if not every day, every other day, trying to make sure I keep my rent paid, making sure I'm taking care of the business and standing on the business and making sure I'm like I said, I got a place to lay my head at. So I understand how if you are in a position to where if this is your only source of income, you know what I'm saying, you really out there trying to grind and get it or whatever, and you would expect people to say, you know what? This man just delivering my food, especially if you're giving, good customer service. You know what I'm saying? If you getting good customer service and you delivering that food on time, it's hot and fresh, you would expect, you know what, man, a $4 tip, $5 tip, $6, $7, $8, you know what I'm saying? Just so on and so forth. And you would think that people would tip you stuff like this, but the fact that somebody will tip you $1.19, I'd be frustrated in the motherfucker too. I really would. But that would not make me room to complain. Because at the end of the day, you have to tell yourself there are other jobs out here and other sources of income to where you can make your money, and making sure that you won't have to worry about relying on, just Uber Eats and DoorDash. There are other jobs out here to where, like I said, you don't have to rely just on that. You got to be a man and tell yourself, you know what? Nigga, one job ain't gonna cut it, my nigga. I got to get two. And if two ain't enough here, I can find an extra side hustle and it's gonna make it three. But at the end of the day, man, as a man, you got to get out here and grind. Because us as men, ain't nobody gonna give us men shit, my nigga. They ain't gonna give us shit. So in order to sustain a certain lifestyle, in order to keep a roof over your head, in order to making sure that you have all the shit that you need as far as your household, you're going to have to get out here and grind. Because I tell you this, don't no woman want no nigga that's complaining all the time. Or in his feelings about, I can't pay my rent, I can't do this, I can barely cover the expenses and everything as far as, my expenses. And like I said, I'm not trying to talk down on a brother or bash him, but at the end of the day, bro, you got to be a man. I get it. We all human beings at the end of the day, but at the same time, we are men, homie. We got to make sure we on our P's and Q's at every chance we get. We got to make sure, we being, strategic and just strategically thinking about what's the next move, what we need to do to making sure that we, getting out here to make sure we getting some money and making some money. It ain't no time for crying and complaining, my nigga. But like I said, I understand that if this is your only source of income and if people are tipping you that little piece of shit ass change, then like I said, I would be frustrated too. But in order to stop the frustration, you have to tell yourself, I gotta go get another motherfucking job. I gotta go get another motherfucking job. Just to, to kill all this debt that I'm in and all this shit, that I got to pay and keep up with. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So, to you, brother, or to any other man that's going through something like this, stop the crying, man. Get your ass up and make sure you do what you need to do to make sure your bill's paid. Make sure you do what you need to do to make sure you got food in the refrigerator. Make sure you do what you need to do, to keep a roof over your head. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna give us a handout, and damn sure ain't nobody gonna give us shit. So you have to go out there and get it yourself. Because ain't nobody else gonna get it for you, my nigga. I promise you. So get focused, stop the crying, stop the emotional bullshit, and stand on your 2 feet and stand on 10 toes as a man and get out there and grind and work your ass off, man. That's the only solution to this problem. And that's all I got to say. So I will say this, like I said, man, if you know what I'm saying, let me know what y'all feel about this video. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to hearing from y'all, man. I really want y'all opinion on this subject matter. And like I said, man, I look forward to hearing from y'all. Peace.